Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream, cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head to me.
Do you want to start the podcast?
Go for it.
Or do you want to start the podcast? Go for it. We're gonna bust in with that kind of chemistry.
No, I don't. Well, if that was the question, no, I don't want to start the podcast.
We have been.
It's late.
Are you gonna have a complaining start?
No. How's that me complaining?
I thought you were complaining about it being late in the day.
No, the podcast is fucking late. Jesus, it was me coming out with an apology. Do you want to start again with a different fucking attitude? Instead of jumping down my fucking throat when I'm apologising on our behalf.
Hey, I'm sorry, I thought you were going a different angle with it and I preempted it.
Podcast is late because we've had a busy week, so we've got a day off in Denver, so you're getting a podcast on our day off, so there you go. That's why it's late.
And your mum and dad are here, that's cool.
Oh, upstairs.
That's really nice. Because it's the same hotel as well.
Aye.
It looks a bit the camera angle I've got doesn't do the hotel much justice. But you've got a themed room. What was that like?
No. You've got the exact same themed room as we do. The floors are themed. Not the physical floors. You stupid.
I was fucking looking at the carpet. We've got that on camera. I was staring at the carpet, looking for what theme the carpet is. I'm like, it's themed after me Nana's curtains.
No, your floor is based on TV shows. Our floor is a horror floor, and what that means is they've just got pictures of the twins from The Shining.
Home Alone. I'm having a fucking nightmare starting this podcast. By the way, I just want to thank Pam Shipman, Lena Guzman, who's the same person, for giving us edibles that actually do exactly what you said on the dosage.
Aye, because normally when people give us edibles, we're always grateful, let that be said. Mm-hmm. But people go, oh, be careful, these ones are particularly strong.
Maybe have half.
And then I end up taking 3, and you're like, okay, so what's happening here? She was like, with this cookie, just take half, because they're very, very strong.
And you'd heard it all before.
And I was like, I'm not doing this shit again, man. I'm not doing this. I'm so bored.
I'm about to get on a flight.
Aye, a long one too, a 3-hour one thing, and it was fucking delayed as well, and we knew that coming in.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll have a fucking full one. And it was good. There was a point when I was like, I wasn't worried, but there was a point where I was like, if it doesn't stop soon, I'm going to have to tell Cara.
Aye.
Like, I'm just going to have to be like, look, I'm going to have to sleep this off on the plane, so can you just make sure?
Keep an eye on us. I'll be alright, but just keep an eye on us. You thought I had getting so high that I'd delayed the plane 45 minutes.
No, because we were stuck around the...
Because I said because you got in eventually. You got on your time.
We were fucking trying to board the plane, and we were just in the fucking corridor that gets you onto the plane before you're even there. Doors there, and then you're meant to turn right, and this is just when no American person knows how to get on a plane properly with any level of speed.
They're all surprised when they get to their seats, like, oh shit, I should have a bunch of things out my bag now. I should.
And they'll stand there and they'll look at the busy flight, which they'll physically be in the way of the traffic.
Everybody waiting. Everybody.
They'll look down and they'll be like, why do these planes take so long? You're in the way. You should.
You'll be in your head, like behind them with a book in your hand, your switch in your hand, whatever. And you'll have everything you need to sit down. You can just bung your bag and sit down, and they wouldn't see that as a beneficial thing for the world.
So you'd gone onto the flight early because we had priority boarding, but I was on the phone to fucking Marlena. So we're waiting to get on the plane, and just around the corner, and we're stuck there for literally 10 minutes. I'm like, I've got my right foot on the plane, my left foot's on it. Why have I been?
So this is a somebody problem.
Why? So I'm like, somebody is doing a real bad, and I'm watching the staff do nothing about it either. So I'm getting raging at this point, and I'm like, one person should be dead. You and
Ellie going to be on an episode of Nick Cody and Luke Hegge's mid-flight brawl.
I'm like, this is like, if you, and also you, not only does that person need to be dead, if you're a staff working on this plane right now, the fact that you've not
dealt with that,
the fact that you've not killed this person means you're also fired. Right? You should be going up beside whoever that is, doing whatever they're doing, doing that thing for them, and then choking them out and just throwing them out a window. That's what you should be doing. And it finally gets fucking through, and it's literally 10 minutes. Sit down, and you turn around and you're like, I'm having a whitey. And I'm like, if that was you, I'm not talking to you for the rest of the day.
You really thought it was? What I meant by I'm having a whitey was I couldn't stop laughing at a picture of cat as Hitler that Gareth War sent.
Or like what really fucking old Karen
It
names.
just it had like a black spot on its lip, and its hair was like dyed in a particular way. It looked like Hitler, and I couldn't stop laughing at it. And then you said,
what shit pun would a shit comedian come out with if they were going to caption that? You know how whenever you're in like a group, something like that, or you see that posted on Facebook and you're like, oh god, who engages with that sort of crap? And then you see somebody has engaged with that crap, and you go,
like some like pun that doesn't work,
Doesn't work, like Catler.
concentration cats.
oh,
Like a pun that doesn't work, it clunks in.
Yeah, very concentration cats is exactly what they would do. That's I'd love to name the comedians who would do this. God,
We'll do that on Patreon.
that's why I do
Comedians
worry.
would
I
never pay
imagine
for another
that's
comedian's
all
Patreon.
Patreon says is
Comedians talking behind each other's backs, knowing that they don't listen to each other's
I
Patreons.
don't have the courage to say this shit publicly, and I trust my fan base not to. I've ranted about some fucking cunts. I've kept my lips tight on some other ones. So.
Aye. But are you literally, the reaction you had to me saying I'm having a white here, but my little laughing fit I was having, you thought I had to not because they weren't just slowing down the plane, they ended up breaking they tried to push the bin lid thing. I'm calling it a bin.
Aye.
That's bad, that. I've just called the overhead locker a bin because that's what they call it in America. I may as well have said sidewalk.
I don't.
Americanisms.
I sometimes get called on that because like people go, you said trunk, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, am I globally travelled? My mistake. Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me just speak through my nose like
doesn't
a
bother
fife
you.
again, shall I?
Nah, does it not go in your box though if driving an automatic car? You know when you put me in that box for putting a bit of water in
Oh,
my
it does
coffee
if
to
you-
cool it down, and you're like, that's in a box with automatic car. That
It is.
If
you and don't get me wrong.
what about it? Is it in the same box as like going in the cubicle to piss, even though there's plenty of urinals?
Yeah,
Is it like that?
It's just look, you're allowed to do it, and there's legally nothing wrong with it.
Aye.
It's just a little bit
But
soft.
I think
it's a little bit soft.
I
that's
think
all
picking
it
up
is.
Americanisms is in that box.
I think no. I think picking
I
up.
think doing it here just to be understood is
Picking
fine,
up
but
any-
you kind of take it home.
I'll get picking up accents. Like anyone that goes to America for 2 years and comes back with an American accent, and I'm also bad for this because I pick up fucking Geordieism. So look, I'm
but
fucking.
You haven't picked up that much considering how much intense company you are.
No, but also like I've not with the Americanisms. If it slips into conversation, I don't say sidewalk regularly. I don't say trunk regularly. If it slips out of my mouth, I'll not have. I'll not accept the assassination of my character.
What about if the game was going to penalties? And what about if it
PKs.
slipped? What about if PKs slipped out?
PKs fucking ripped my passport.
What about if
ripped my passport out of my hand? Fucking
Hysteria.
Aye, don't let me back on the fucking plane. Shoot me in the fucking head. That would be the kindest American thing you could do to me.
What about
shoot me in the fucking head if I ever called it PKs? That's fucking death penalty for me. I'm gone. I've sold out. It doesn't mean anything.
You're gonna need to just like fuck off somewhere and start selling scuba gear on a beach where nobody knows you. You're gonna have to just restart completely.
To Lackland.
What if you said defense?
Oh no! Well,
what if you were like talking to someone in England about football and you went, Chelsea have got a better defense? Would you apologise immediately after?
Defence. Well, because the only thing that's throwing in contention for me is defence is also, or defence is you use it in D&D. I'm trying to work out if I use defence, what way I use it.
That would be a cruel way to condition you into saying it. So it sounded like you got it into saying it through sport.
Aye, but because I've watched 1,000 hours of Americans playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I've heard them say,
roll a defense check. Check.
But there's no defense check, but I know there is. So maybe but defense isn't on. Oh, if you put the S on the end of offsides, it's fucking get it done.
Time to go.
Also, with the putting cold water into hot coffee, I'm on the side of that. I want it on red. I think you should be allowed to do that, and you are allowed to do that. I'm just telling you, there's a type of man out there. There's a type of man out there who isn't okay with that type of behaviour, and sometimes I look up to those men and base my behaviour accordingly. So it's this is. Because I saw you did. I'm like, all right, well, I'm glad you're comfortable enough to do that. I'm just telling you this. We've got friends who, if you did it in their company,
It's very a girlfriend has picked your dog behavior.
It's very that. It's very I'm comfortable with my own sexuality, which is good. This is all a positive. Every word out of my mouth is a good thing. It's just all very that though, isn't it?
One thing that's in that category that I would never get into the realm of is, you know how you ever go to someone's house and the toilet seat won't stay up. And it's just a struggle to pee because you've got to hold the toilet seat up. And a man lives there, so that means that man has just given up on trying to get the toilet seat. That man sits down to pee.
No.
He doesn't in his own house every day, several times a day, hold the toilet seat up and not going, I've got to fucking sort this toilet seat. That man sits doing the piss.
No, I think he just aims.
He's just given up. He probably does it like get a bit of time away from the kids. He sits on Twitter.
He aims. I don't.
You think he's about to aim, or do you think he wipes the seat?
Maybe he flicks out with his feet.
Maybe he's just not asked about doing it, and he just
maybe he
leans
stands
against
up
it.
with his like fucking foot on it like a rock star, having it on the mic.
Yeah, that's way cooler.
Aye.
That man wouldn't put water on his coffee.
Aye, and look, there's nothing wrong with look. I've got my feet very thoroughly in that car.
Do you know how far?
Drive an electric car, right? God, what else did I do this? Dungeons and Dragons. That's in that realm.
Do you think so?
Yeah, man.
Of course it is. Yeah, when you look at how Mark Nelson.
Yeah, if you're comfortably anything else other than stereotypical man, it's soft. And I don't agree with it.
Aye,
but it is true.
Aye, some people will think you're a metrosexual if you do these things.
Yeah. And look, I'm thoroughly on the side of people that do those things in spite of those other people.
Aye.
But I would be lying if I were to say.
I like that. Some people.
Teenage part of me.
Some people live in like a mild discomfort, so not to come across a particular way.
Absolutely.
They would like wait an extra couple of minutes to sip their coffee.
Man, some people would order ice cream. Some people, I bet there's people out there that are men that are so toxic. I bet they don't let themselves have ice cream. They're just like, can't do it. Can't be seen to have it. I don't like it. I'll have maybe. God, what's a boring ice cream?
These men don't hug.
Those ones, the ones who don't know what to do. Hands out there, the father's never said I love you. Oh, I was on the phone to me granddad with the one that's he's got. No, it's not dementia, but it's like short term memory loss, which is basically just the same thing at this point. And he's at the end of the conversation, I said, all right, bye, Grandpa, I love you. And he was just like, oh, you too. And I genuinely couldn't remember if he is of the generation where
he doesn't say I love you
because I know my in fact I don't know, my granddad's definitely said it. I think they've almost definitely said it, but my granddad on that side is that type of man we're talking about. This is my granddad. One of my favourite moments in my history with him was years ago. I was about 19 or 20. Was getting some fucking shitey Comedian of the Year award in Scotland. Brought my granddad along to the ceremony. My mum was there, and we sat beside two gay lads, right? And my granddad got on with them just so well. They were making him laugh. Proper like East End Glasgow gays, right? Just funny, like quick, bitchy, but like nice and.
And you love that vibe.
Loved to really go on with it. And then later on, like I was like, oh, he was like, those two lads, great company, you know. Who were they? And I was like, oh, I've never met them before, but we mentioned they were a couple, and he was like, they were a couple, and you can see him
change.
No, but not in an angry way, not in but like sort of taken aback way. And I caught it, and I was like, does that make you uncomfortable, Grandpa? He's like, no, it's it's just it wasn't about back in
Have you seen the film Pride? About the pits and perverts, the benefits they put on for the miners, the gay community and the miners in Wales kind of joined forces, and it's all about that generation of men coming to terms with it, and some of them didn't, and like it's all based on a true story and that. It's class.
What's it called?
Pride.
It's
like a 2015 film. It's really fucking
Who's
good.
in it?
You know what? That guy from Dead Man's Shoes.
Oh, aye. He's good.
Someone Considine.
Paddy
Considine. No, that's the fucking Aberdeen defender.
Oh,
is it not? Fucking hell,
sure.
bit high.
Wait, what was my point I was making before?
About your granddad coming to terms with the guys that were gay.
Yeah. So we were asking like if he was okay with it, and he starts telling this story, which he thinks is unrelated, about he had like 6 brothers, or he was the youngest of 7, I think he was, and they were like real poverty back in his school, like back in the day, proper poverty.
Aye.
And so
Proper olden day poverty where you didn't even have electricity sometimes.
Aye. So like, and they only ever got like one Christmas present between them a year.
Yeah.
And on Christmas,
a lump of coal and a tangerine. Poverty.
Yeah, and like on Christmas Day, both the parents would be working, and so because the parents were working, him and his brothers would go over the road to the neighbours, and it was just 2 old women who would like make them, Christmas dinner and look after them all day, and like they'd give them like little individual like chocolates or presents and stuff, and this would happen like once or twice. I think it was my mum that was just like, 2 old women live together. He was like, yeah, just across the road. And she was like, in separate rooms. He was like, no, and there was just this crystallising moment. He was like, oh my God. I'm like, right, so it was around back then. Just people were scared, and like it's always been there. Mm-hmm. It was just, there was a time when people were uncomfortable, or I guess fucking didn't even admit it. Look at us, 2 straight men talking about.
Aye. Just in a room together with a camera on.
Look at us, just guessing what it's like to be gay. Just guessing.
Speculating. Speculating.
Could have a gay guy on the podcast. Could ask him. Nah, I'm not comfortable with him.
Yuck.
See, this is exactly why we should have it on the podcast, so we don't go down those horrible, easy routes. But then again, if Reece Nicholson was here, I would say all of that to his face. And I also think he would just be
it would be like a Louis Theroux documentary interviewing him on a thing to be gay if there's nothing else going on in his life.
It's still the number one thing. Like, it's legal in all the places we've been in so far. It's not
in which different stop beating on about it when we're talking about him.
Just really, really trying to hammer. It'd be like doing really like deep atheist material now, like, which I guess I was doing. Like, man, all right, get a new angle. This isn't edgy anymore. So you're gay. And
speaking of, in San Francisco the other day, and I went for a run. That didn't happen.
Oh yes,
I got in the Uber because
this has nothing to do with gays, by the way.
It's not. I literally fucking crowbarred out of it.
right. No, I'm fine. I just don't want people to be listening to this story and be like, why did Kai stop running in San Francisco? Was he chasing a gay? Was he being chased by a gay?
Was he trying to outrun his thoughts?
Yeah. Was there a big march and he couldn't get around them?
So I got an Uber to the Golden Gate Bridge after I'd been on stage, because I thought, like, I've been getting back to the hotel and using the treadmill and all that, but I thought, right, I'm in quite an iconic place, and I've actually ran over the bridge before on one of the computer screens that are on the treadmills in the gym.
Oh,
when you do the virtual run.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm going to do that in real life. It'll tick a box. I haven't done much tourism stuff recently.
Right.
It's just been like fucking hotel, gig, rinse, repeat, airport. So I get an Uber to the bridge, and it was like $20 or something. We're 5 mile away. Maybe it's like 3-4 mile away. And I get to the fucking bridge, get out the Uber, walk up at the gate, and it's locked. Mm. The bridge is locked. Oh, also on the fucking taxi.
For cars as well?
No, the cars could still go on, just the people bit. Sadly.
Oh, wait, right. So what you're trying to say is you were scared?
No, I'm saying it's the lock, the gate. You kind of get on, like, it's a through pass with like a fucking heavily armed gate to stop people getting on and killing themselves.
Alright, but you could, but in
theory, you want us to get on the road?
In theory.
Just like fucking something off Planet of the Apes, just bounding out of the traffic and mad. Out of the tops of the cars, bonnet to bonnet.
Down the middle. Just hope nobody's overtaken. Who's overtaken on a bridge? Surely nobody.
But I was going, because he was speculating why it like might be shut, because I was like, does it shut? And he was like, oh, it might be because there was once a mountain lion got across at night. Oh, because it's all that like forest land over there, isn't it?
That's the San Francisco version of a dingo ate my baby.
And San Francisco also has dingoes as well. It's like dingoes always come across the bridge and stuff. Not dingoes, what do you call them? Coyotes.
Oh, there you go.
Same thing, innit? Like wild dogs.
Blows my mind that like you've got this big iconic bridge, right? And obviously people keep throwing themselves off of it to kill themselves because of the battle with depression. And
the battle with mental health that America is just not going to help them with one fucking bit.
Never has. Never.
Never will.
America just be like, are you homeless with mental health issues? Can you? Oh, Grant, you'll just die of something at some point. So
Yeah,
we will need to deal with
exposure. I'll probably sort this problem with first. So.
Go to a hotter place, get really dehydrated, and then wander into traffic. We'll clean up your body. Come on, it's the United States of America.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll pick up your dead
A few
corpse.
people will step over you before they realise that you're not just sleeping.
But we're not going to do anything to help you with health. Like, so they'll just. So clearly there's an epidemic of suicide, and their way of dealing with this epidemic of suicide is to go, oh God, right, we got to make this harder.
Try and take the methods off them. Aye.
Not like, let's get to the bottom of this.
Aye.
Not like, here's a legal way to kill yourself,
Let's stop it way early on the process than the actual action.
Here's always been my plan for people that want to kill themselves, right? That's why it should be government allowed. You walk in, you go, I would like to kill myself. And they're like, great. We'll lock you in for a date 6 months down the line. You pick the date, any one of after this date, 6 months down the line, you pick any one of those. That's the date. We'll kill you. Not only that, however you want to do it, name it. We'll get it done. Bullet in the back of the head. You want to be eaten by lions? You want to be torn apart by gorillas? You want to be sent into space? Like next time, one of those rich motherfucking billionaires will stick you on the side. We'll do it.
Strap you to the side with gaffer tape.
The deal is, for the next 6 months, you do have to go to therapy 3 times a week.
Aye.
For 2 hours a day.
And the cruelest part of it is you can't change your mind. You just got to value your life.
Aye. But man, if you do that every day, the 2 hours of therapy 3 times a week for the entire thing, at the end of that 6 months, if you still want to kill yourself, man, we'll do. You know what? We'll televise it. Sign it away, and we'll donate your body to science. It'll be good for everyone. If you still want to go, we'll do it in any way you want. Even if you want to go a boring way, if you want to be a bit soft about it, if you want to just
the hardest bit for these homeless guys with mental health issues, it's fucking expensive to get therapy. How they fucking meant to do it? There's no option.
Well, no, and also, I was going to say therapy is the last of the concern, but that's not true. But it's also just in a list of like. Because when you get to
when the people I'm talking about, I don't know if you can get them on the couch. Like, that's a bit more asylum level.
When you look at that's
you need to observe them through glass.
That's the difference between the American homeless and the British homeless I've found, which is like the British homeless.
They can tell you the story.
They tell you the story. They're down on their luck. They're down on their luck. Things that haven't gone well. They've lost battles.
They haven't given up asking for change.
Depression, or whatever.
Some of the homeless in LA, they're not even like begging anymore. They're just wandering around
like fucking GTA characters. Just absolutely insane. And it's in every state. Like there's no state in this country. So
keep that in mind as well, right? I get to the gate, it's closed. I said to the guy, because we're trying to debate whether I'd be up or not. The Google wasn't very helpful, and I get up to it. And the Google wasn't very helpful. I Googled like shut the Thames Bridge. That's what I said. You're picking up on the tiniest little things, aren't you?
Well, it's very novel when an aging man starts calling it the Google.
Fair point, well made. If indeed I did say it, and this has been recorded, so there is a way to find out. That's not what I meant.
Okay, go ahead.
He said he was going to wait. He's like, I'll wait here because it's like a little bit off the beaten track. Like, imagine you're going to run over the Forth Road Bridge. It's just a lot like that. Like fucking lanes of traffic and that, no real pavements to walk on. And he said he was going to wait for us, and then I fucking gets back doing. The cunt was gone. He just did one immediately. And I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just see how far away. Like I said, it was over 3-4 miles. That's about what it was going to be to run back and forward anyway and get the Uber. I think I'll just run back. And as I mentioned, it's all like fucking 4 lanes of traffic with no sidewalk. I decided I would fucking run through the park. That's the only place there's footpaths, and I got about like half a kilometre out of the park before I realised, I'd realised it, but I realised I couldn't deal with it, that there was no lights at all. It wasn't lit by fucking, and it was about 2.5 kilometres. I'm switching between miles and kilometres here just to confuse people. I was knee-way, I was going to run for, what would that have been, even if I was running it quite fast, like fucking 10, 12 minutes, right? I'm not doing that. I was too scared. Talking about mountain lions, talking about coyotes, knowing fine well what the homeless problem's like in California. Yeah. And I was half a fucking kilometre into this park with another 2 to go, and I went, I'm going back. It was one of them moments in my life where I'm running going, this is shite, this. Why are you doing this?
I know it is such an old, well, it's not an old thing, but it's a very reused thing, and I can't remember the name of the person who originally came out with it, so I can't credit them. But the comment, America is just a third world country and a Gucci belt, is so unbelievable.
great.
The more you travel
Aye.
this country, you're like, oh yeah, you're just,
And-
it's all a front.
and
Like
you know,
well, it's not all a front, but it's just so poverty-stricken.
it's LA's veneers on rotten teeth.
Aye, it's mad.
What was I going to say?
Well, there's going to be an earthquake there at some point.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The billionaires getting richer through lockdown and all that, right? Well, like people that have gotten out, have got less opportunity to make money, right? All we've seen is just like, if imagine fucking America has a pool of money, you've just seen it all shift that way, and you can not just see how fat their pockets are, but fucking how empty theirs are. And to suggest just taking a bit off the end and putting it at the bottom, to work its way back up to the top, to suggest that is like you're suggesting communism.
I think trickle down comics will work one of these days. Just you wait, it's going to come down in floods, mate. Why wouldn't it? Dam's going to burst. At one point, they're going to have too much money. At one point, they're going to have so much money, and they're just going to start spending it, and they're going to spend on all the stuff that we make. So
they couldn't go ahead and make everyone.
Have ye of a little faith.
What else have we been saying?
What have we? Oh no, I asked Cara to give us a list of things that had happened that we needed to talk about.
It does feel like it's been a bit eventful the last few days, which is.
Aye. So we were in the first show we did was in Los Angeles afterwards, and obviously LA is Hollywood, and we got to play at the Orpheum, which is a huge.
It felt like a big gig. It felt like a big theatre gig. It had that feel to it, you know.
They're definitely bigger venues.
There was like a decent guest list and all that.
Yeah, there's definitely bigger venues in LA, but that was like one of the. I think it's a really well established and such just a fucking beautiful and cool venue.
Yeah, full of friends.
Aye, so we were having a little after party afterwards, and I really like Rachel Rush, my CAA agent. She's been with me since I was about 19. And I owe many of my successes in America to her and her constant praise and support. I like CAA as a whole. I think they're a very good agency. We've had our differences in the past. We, occasionally butt heads, but we're out here. We get to live this life. Like they're the reason we're in America. They're very, very good at what they do.
Yeah, and they're a huge agency, aren't they? Like office block full of people.
Oh. More than an office block. Yeah, like it's
like different offices.
Big, like Justin Bieber and Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay, right. So the man's right at the top.
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest agencies in the entire world. They sent some of their interns to watch the show, and it's something that agencies just do for the clients. Just like, oh, we're going to send. So hey, we're here. We're supporting you. Look, we came to see the thing. And obviously Rachel was there because Rachel wanted to be there because Rachel is.
She was watching a client,
and Rachel was at my first ever gig in America and my second ever gig in America, my third, my fourth. She was there for my first Conan all the way through to my 10th Conan. She's been there for everything. Of course, she wants to come and see me. These other interns, they've just picked a wheel. Selected 4 random interns, be like, right, you're gonna go because you're not being paid.
It was so funny.
You're not being paid. Just go. Here's the payment. You get free shit. You're gonna have a VIP experience backstage, and there's artists that you do not give a shit about.
Yeah, they sent like little baby LA agents, little like tiny little spawns of LA agents.
Yeah, very brand new, like little Bambi agents.
But they were all doing agenty things.
They were doing, what they've seen agents do. Like
it was
they were
really
like,
cute.
okay, we're going to network. We're going to go and do. So Rachel's out in the audience.
One of them started like complimenting us on my clothes and that. And I was like, I just throw on what I throw on me. And he was there schmoozing us. He was practicing schmoozing on us.
Yeah. He's like, you've got really, really nice eyebrows. And you're like, man, okay, I get you're trying new things. This is not, hey, what luscious earlobes you have, Mr. Humphries.
We're being dead cynical.
And then I come off stage after the gig, right? My agent's not there. Why is my agent not there? Because she's in the audience. She was watching the show. I come back and all 4 baby agents are still there.
Who had not watched the show in front of me and Cara.
No, they'd been speaking to just enjoying the free bit. And again, I don't begrudge them any of this.
No.
I've done it.
They're enjoying the backstage experience. It was one of the perks of being an agent.
It's the whole thing. It's just very funny to watch and be part of. Come backstage, they start telling me how good the gig was immediately. And for me, I'm used to this. I've been coming to Hollywood for like 6-7 years now. But Cara and you were just like but none of this is real. And they're like, man, loved it, thought you were so good, thought you were so funny. And you're just like, you weren't there at one of the points. And they're just very, very drunk. Sitting down.
I was still looking at my mirror, pleased for me threads at this point.
Rachel comes in, starts giving me all my compliments and, you know, getting very emotional and all proud and stuff. And I sit back down, we're talking. And then just the guy next, one of the baby ones steaming, turns around and goes, so, how was that gig for you holistically?
He had an audience as well. There was so many people backstage, and it was like it was a lulling conversation, and you just went, "You fucking what?" You went, "What the fuck was that?" You fucking tore strips out of him.
I was just like, oh no, I think he said, "What the fuck does that mean?" And Chris Martin lost his mic. So it was just like, but what? How was that gig for you? Oh, this is my jonglers. Go fuck yourself. Holistically.
It was a cup of soup for the soul. Really filled up my cup.
Oh God, what was the other one? No,
that was the one I overheard.
There was the one before.
There was like an older lass that was with them that was saying never date a comedian, and then one of the younger lasses went, "Oh no, I'd never date a comedian. Never." Think about it all the time though. All the time. Just constantly just going, oh, that forbidden fruit. Oh. Somebody desperate for attention. Oh, I wish I had that in my life.
Like, I do wonder, like, because I was saying to Cara as well, like, because she wasn't the biggest fan of just like the blatant lying to my face that was going on.
No,
she wasn't
not for me that either, but I find it funny.
I find it funny as well, man. I remember
they weren't nice enough, man. They were just trying to be what they thought they were.
It's all like, man, it's fucking LA. They're all playing the same game. Like, it is what it is. First time I was doing my solo show down in Santa Monica, right? I won't mention my name, right? But it's Jack Whitehall's agent, who is in the same agency as I am, friends with my agent. So I'm doing a show to like 60, 70 people. This is years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
I'm doing dark, and like physically at the back of the room, I watch him walk in. I've told this story in the podcast before. I watch him walk in, like just as I'm talking about when Josie died, and I walk him, argue with the doorman, make his way around the back, and then sit down by Rachel, and then like I finish the set in literally 8 minutes because that's how much of the show's left. Go off, and he's the first person out to be being like, man, what a show from start to finish. And I'm like, motherfucker, I saw you.
Telling me one of my jokes.
But I respect it. Man, I respect it. So I'm just like, man, you're going to look me dead in the eyes, and be like, I'm going to fucking I'm so full of shit and confidence.
Nobody's going to question it.
I can get through this.
And even if he does realise, and what?
All right, what's going to happen?
What?
And then what? Oh, you're saying, oh, am I fired? Fuck off, grow up. I respect it in so many ways.
It's fucking. Yeah. You couldn't be that though.
No.
No way I could peddle that.
No, but we have.
I am a fan of bullshit with confidence and be a bit of a blagger, but that level of like just the audacity.
Oh, I've done it when drunk, and I don't like. I didn't mean to, but the next day I was like, oh god, I was a bit fucking.
I am. I'm trying to think of times where I've blagged and it's all just like really fucking ethical stuff. Oh, yeah. Like trying to get into a nightclub and the fucking the doorman wouldn't let us in because I was too drunk, and then I completed a Rubik's Cube and got in even though I still was too drunk. That's the like level of blagging I'm willing to do. Is like try like we managed to get in the other day with a photo of my ID just because we tacked it up a little bit and just had a bit of confidence about where we're like I'm clearly not fucking 21. I'm just like I can't. And you, like that level of blagging. But not straight up bullshit in the people's faces.
But you know, man, Hollywood, LA, like it's just the.
It's just par for the cause.
It's what happens there.
Speaking of par for the cause, I'm going to crowbar just everything in. We've been playing Mario Golf on the Switch. It's highly addictive.
What a game!
It's very good.
What a game! I was gutted when you were told me we were doing this podcast.
Oh, because you wanted to play it? We're playing on the flight and I was just a bit too high, I think, off that cookie.
And also, like, we're getting to the harder levels. Like, I played it for several hours, so I got, like, not the knack of it, but...
Yeah, you knew how much of the wind put on the ball.
And I know that sort of tactic, and also as an actually professional golfer myself, I just brought some of my real life knowledge into the gaming world. I feel like that helps me.
You keep shouting feet at Mario when his feet are wrong. Like, feet?
I kept doing that
Shoulder
to
width
Neil
apart.
during when we were playing Top Golf.
You know, like it was like you were practicing being a dad.
We just get his feet wrong. Feet.
Feet. Neil, feet.
Feet. All the way back.
Should just
All
keep
the way
saying
back,
feet until it's not a word.
Aye.
Feet.
Keep saying feet until they get a fetish.
I've got a bit of a foot fetish stalker, you know. Not stalker, just a nice dude.
Dude.
I think so. It's called Feety McFeet. How am I meant to tell?
Maybe this is going to be a bit sexist, but it does feel like more of a guy fetish.
You know what? They sometimes post like if just my feet are on an Instagram story out like that, just because like I didn't have any slippers on.
Just posting up you
Posting pictures of my feet. They'll screen cap it, right? So that they've got the feet thing, but then they'll put a picture of us looking buff. Like I've put like a photo of us like in Muay Thai with 6-pack and all that, and they'll get that and they'll cut and paste the picture of my feet. Like, look at this guy. Now look at his feet. Fucking get that, don't you?
Surely you can.
Sometimes get tagged and that sort of stuff.
Surely, if that's your fetish, you could just make up people's feet. You could just bring in a picture of Idris Elba and be like, "This is Idris Elba's very white feet."
I was literally the only person.
Freckled toes. Who knew?
Me and McFeety were the only people that knew that it was legitimate.
Aye. Mm. It's one of those ones. I think we've spoken about it before, but
You don't trust the foot fetish guys.
it's not that I don't trust, right? But like they're on the cusp of not trusting. Mm-hmm. Like put it this way: if anyone
is it like having cold water in your coffee?
No, it's worse than that.
It's more sinister.
Yeah.
Like none of the other ones had sinister connotations.
No, all those things were just soft. Liking feet isn't soft. For me, there's just something like when you start getting to those levels of like. Put it this way: like if you were to murder someone, or sexually assault someone, or in fact even just like theft, arson, any crime whatsoever, even minor crimes, and they had you on the news, and one of the things they said was local foot fetishist whatever does this, I would go no way.
I feel like it's got to be on a serial killer checklist.
Aye, yes, 100%.
Oh, Tarantino's got a foot fetish. That's that mean.
Aye, so not. I'm sure there are perfectly normal people out there.
But that's not how you're coming across. You need a rebrand. Like
just
you need a rebrand on your kink.
Like, because I need you to explain it to me. In fact, and I don't want you to, because I bet it's for gross reasons. I bet it's because it's something to do with like.
Imagine it's a much bigger community than you think, and you've just literally offended like.
It's huge. It's a huge community.
A lot of people might be a bit underground with it because they know how it sometimes looks. Definitely. I'm super pleased that boobs isn't seen as a fetish or a kink, because like. Imagine you are that sick fuck who like tits. What the milk comes out of the baby stuff. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not disgusted by feet. I hate people that are disgusted by feet as well. To them, I'm also like, oh, grow up. Like, would you? You know, people that go see feet and they're like, ah. And you're like, no, let's not. Like you've got them. How's that possible? What are showers like? What are you staring at in the fucking bath?
People that are disgusted by your trotters.
Aye.
Yeah.
No.
You're just on the opposite end of that weird spectrum.
Yeah, I'm a centrist. I'm a foot centrist.
Foot centrist. Foot centrist.
Foot centrist.
Going in for a podcast.
Aye. And look, and I think maybe it does come with, my bias comes from the fact that I think more men are foot fetishists. So it's just there's something creepy about it as well. Like, well, you're just getting turned on all the time, are you? Like I'm turned on by the bits. Are you
a little bit jealous of it? That you're like,
no,
yours are away.
Nah, I think that's where it comes from.
You're not team free the nipple.
No, I am team free the nipple. But
like that would be out all the time, and then you'd just be a bit foot fetishy.
I would.
You know what? Like I would definitely like. Free the nipple. I would definitely look up like boobs. It would take us a fucking while to readjust if people were whacking their boobs out all the time on a hot day. I'd be like, fucking traffic would slow down. I'd be fucking over my neck. It would take us a little while to just get right. Just play it cool.
So yeah. If
they haven't got them out for your benefit.
If you could free the nipple, it would be you and me awkwardly looking at our feet, so we're not looking at other people's tits, and then people who've got feet fetishes awkwardly looking at women's tits, so we're not staring at other people's feet. You can just tell who's who because we're all staring at the one thing we don't want.
Imagine blowjobs were like fetishy and like seen as sick.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to put it in her mouth? That's fucking gross.
Where
she keeps her teeth.
Ooh. But I get that. That's why, like, man, see if any woman is like, I don't want to swallow cum, deep. I'm like, obviously.
I get it. I get it. I totally get it.
Man, if my cum touches me, that's my whole day fucking ruined. Right? And like, I'll go for a shame.
It's a shame, but I get it.
Aye.
Like, I wish it tasted lovely.
But the perverts in me, it's like, come on. Aye, but come on, though.
There's no way I could, like, strong arm into it.
Right. I remember shagging a girl.
That's harassment.
I remember shagging a girl. And fair play to her. She was like, I will absolutely swallow your load if you swallow your load. And I'm like, negotiations are over.
I'd be fucking already have one dribbling through my chin, mate.
Oh, no. Nah.
Do you know that for good measure? They have to do.
No.
Is it 1 for 1, or is that just like, are you in there? Are you? I would honestly, if it was one and you're in, I'd honestly neck a load just to fucking get irate. Sweet,
Nah.
sweet. Need more mess.
Nah, guess I'm coming on test for the rest of my fucking life.
Finish sex with it. You have no to clean up.
No.
Yeah, no to clean up. They're not pregnant. Don't need condoms.
No.
We'd be fucking perfect. Aye, take it straight through the hatch.
Can't
I'd put salt around the rim. Have it like a margarita.
No.
Put a fucking umbrella in it. Splash one on my face now. Is that unlock that one? Aye.
What other fetishes need to go to jail? What's the weirdest one you've ever encountered?
The weirdest fetish I've encountered?
Aye, I had that.
Not really. I haven't even been with anybody that likes strangling and that. Not that I've tried it on with them. They might like strangling. They might just not brought it up.
I've had a lot of.
I've never choked anyone. Never been choked.
Don't want to be choked. No, I did get.
I didn't have like. It doesn't crop up in my mind as something that I'd lean towards.
Nah. Also, I don't want to. I think it's because like it's. For me, because it gets you a little bit high because it stops the blood going in your head. I'm like, that's just the sexual equivalent of fucking paint sniffing for me.
Aye.
Like it's it's poppers, it's it's just lack of oxygen.
Is that what it's? It's that. It's nothing to do with the pain.
Well, no, if some of it's I guess it depends from person to person, but for some people it's a power thing.
I've never watched porn to do with it, to do with like S&M and Dom.
No.
I've never spat on anyone, not during sex.
But at the football.
Just at the kissing stage. Hey, what you been eating? Fucking licorice chewing gum. Who eats that?
That's soft. Strawberry chewing gum.
Aye, that's what are in the coffee, isn't it?
Nothing wrong with it, but like there are men in the world that if you were to offer them strawberry.
Neil offered us a chewing gum the other day, and I got it. I was like, "That's cinnamon, aye." All right, okay.
I'm glad you're comfortable with it.
I know for that comment. I would have kept them nice and warm in my pocket, mate. I'd be getting off to the cubicle to put one of them in my mouth. Maybe if I could be open.
So hey, it's a level of confidence I'm jealous of. I wouldn't have the balls to walk around like this.
He fucking makes us laugh so much, man. He chases me coffee every morning, man.
Oh, Neil.
Nearly chases me coffee. I'll sit down. At first I thought it was a bit odd. He was like, "Chase me coffee now." 5 weeks in, I'm fucking waiting for it there. Yeah, we got me. He done it because he never joined for breakfast. No. He never joined for breakfast, and I was like, "Oh, he's about to cheers Danny's coffee here." I could see it done full, and just sat down, got the coffee, just dropped his bag and all that. I'm going, he's going to cheers Danny here. He's going to see it firsthand in the wild. And then you held up his cup like that, and you just went, "Nah, not coffee like that."
I reserve my cheers. I'm an alcoholic. It's for alcohol.
That's what I thought. I've never seen it done this way.
I'm just not. I also like to put it this way. I get annoyed. See when you're out drinking and everyone goes into cheers, and the one person that's driving puts in their water. You're like, fuck off, man. Come on, away. It's not. This isn't for you. What are you celebrating?
You shouldn't even be standing up. Sit down.
Oh, by the way, you're allowed to fully give me that abuse in return in November, December, January, etc., when I'm not drinking.
When you're not drinking and you're trying to join in all the Christmas cheer.
Aye. I might allow myself one on Christmas, but
a port. Would you waste your one drink on a port, though?
No, it'd be like wasting your one. It'd be like wasting your last meal on a bounty.
Aye, that's your sin on Weight Watchers.
Oh, worst way. What do you reckon would be the worst last meal?
Cereal. Bowl of cereal. That would be tragic. What do you want?
No milk.
Raised Krispies, no sugar.
Guys, get just a Weetabix, aye.
I know, sugar. Like, what are you watching your weight before you die? You don't look good in the chair, like. Get sugar in there. I just didn't want it.
But if I don't weigh enough, maybe the rope won't snap my neck. I'm desperately trying to lose weight before I get hung tomorrow.
Maybe that's semi-skimmed, is it?
Maybe if I'm skinny, the fucking firing squad will miss me.
Your neck will snap, crackle and pop.
Fuck you to the ends of the earth. You rat bastard.
That's what the podcast is, Daniel. We've discussed this. Those nuggets of gold in the stream of shit.
It's actually a very good little joke. You didn't know you made one of the Denver basketball teams called the Denver Nuggets.
Is it?
Aye.
I knew that.
Yeah, a little nugget of information for you there.
Thanks, mate. Aye. Do you like American sport?
I would, if I lived in America, I would 100% be into the NBA and the NFL. It would only, and then as time went on, it would only. Man, I'm getting older. I feel myself getting into golf again. I can feel myself. I watched the Olympics earlier this year. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll start watching tennis. I can feel myself just becoming just an older person that watches all the
fishing.
sport.
Do you reckon you'll pick up fishing?
I wish I liked fish.
You wouldn't date like Rouge. He hates fish. Fucking, he's out every fucking night fishing. Like, that's how much he hates them. He doesn't want to eat them. He just wants to kill them.
Kill them and throw them back in.
He does. He does. Fucking snap that neck.
He just fishes and puts them back.
Fucking full of the chase for the sport.
There you go. No, that would just be silly. That's because like, I hate to sound like a fucking bleeding heart liberal here, but what does that do to the psyche of a fish?
Forget about it in 7 seconds.
Aye, is that true though?
How can you tell? That's something something I've known as a fact all my life. So that's not like modern technology that discovered the 7-second fish memory. That was in the 90s, that.
Aye. But so people do know now. Man, I was watching a documentary the other day. They know that baby birds dream, right, when they're learning their mating calls. They learn their song from their dad, and they know this because they put like whatever the nodes on their brains are while they're awake, and whenever they're singing the song or trying to replicate it, it triggers these parts of the brain, and then when they're sleeping, the same parts are triggered, which means, but sort of roughly in the same area, that's their brain slowly remembering it.
How do they get their like fucking sensor pads on their brain and that, and like link them up with the HCG machine, and then just like going, it's doing its mating call now. The bird's gotta be stressed to fuck. You're tampering with it.
Science is so much smarter than we are, man. Like, it's so far ahead. Like, what they're able to do.
Hold on. Science is smarter than we are.
Aye.
Me and you, Muggins and Cream.
Yeah.
The science guys.
Aye. Look, I know this is going to be difficult for people to hear, and for any of you that have been coming to us for all of our information for years, hate to devastate.
I'd love it if we were where you get your info.
Man, I am where some people get their fucking info.
Oh no!
That's right. That's not the most terrifying thing you've ever heard in your life.
We speculate the operation of the universe with no education on it.
No education.
We're talking about a bird's brains lighting up.
Why? What was the link? What would you say? Oh, fish is fucking. No.
Fish is having a 7-second memory like a granda.
They definitely have. Maybe we should go throw him in.
Throw him back in the water.
That's my favourite ever Lee Mack joke, which was I went to visit my gran the other day. I said, "How's Grandpa getting on in the old folks' home?" She goes, "Oh, he's like a fish out of water." "Oh, what? He's not enjoying it." "No, he's dead."
Dead.
Such a good joke. Cracking. Oh God, my voice cracked when I said cracking.
We're going to go and hang with your mother. Hang out with your mother. Sorry, Freudian slip. Freudian slip.
Right, we're going to go see. My mum and dad have come out to Denver, Colorado, because they've got some friends out here, and we just have to be here at the same time. Well, they definitely timed it.
And it's kind of exciting now because the last week of the tour, if folks are here, Piggy's here, we're going to go for a little fucking road trip through Texas. Through all of Texas.
This last bit's good. We've done the hard part now. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow.
This is your blowout because you're gonna stop boozing next week.
Yeah.
So we'll have a couple of big uns.
Aye, we will.
I had a big un last night.
You did?
I went out on the lash last night.
Aye.
Just went to some dive bar and propped the bar up and just kept the margaritas and beers coming. We had a long day and
When did you go? When did you stop?
I can't even mind. I don't know how I got back. I didn't set an alarm. Woke up with my shoes on. Just fucking now we're gone.
Did you participate in any of the coke going on in the bathroom?
Nah, I went in the bathroom and these lads tried to keep because it was like this is initially what happened, right? We asked the hotel is anywhere open as the hotel bar. We just want to have one pint, right? Like we went straight to the venue to do sound check from the airport, so we were just checking in at like 11 at night or whatever after the gig. So just like it's been a long day. Let's have a pint. Even though we've been drinking backstage all night. We just fucking timed a bottle of whiskey and a bottle of wine. Let's just have a pint and unwind after all that drinking.
Aye.
And they were like, there's a barcade just 2 blocks up, right? And we walked through it, and fuck me, man, it was so young. Like, and they would have been 21 because they were getting ID'd, but it was like uni freshers, queues to get in and all that. I was like, I'm not doing that. But on the way we walked doing this like bar where there was just some people sat outside, went in, and it was just a proper dive bar. Like, you know, just hardened locals. None of them were tourists. None of them were students. There's people playing pool and all that. Like, it felt like a fight could break out at any minute and anyone would stop drinking. And I went to go into the toilet and someone tried to stop the actual door of the toilet, not the cubicle door for the pisser, the actual door. And I was like, he was like, come back in a minute. I was like, mate, I didn't give a fuck if he's not doing coke, man, just let us have a piss. And I went in and they were just doing coke, like, not even in the cubicle, just in the fucking toilet. I went in and had a piss.
Refrained?
Got any here? I didn't know. I couldn't be that fucking guy, man. Like, I mean, I have been before with cigarettes on a regular basis, but just fucking trying to chip in with people. I'm like, nah, I don't fancy it anyway. Getting a bit long on the tooth for it now. Aye. But I would just got fucking levered there.
What was the mask story?
What? Oh, I have fucking when I got up to go out the toilet, I just saw one of the staff walking around like collecting glasses. I was like, do I have to wear this to get into the bathroom? And I like got my mask and he just goes, look at that, and just fucking yeeted it.
Arizona, baby.
Fucking.
We're starting to go south. Right, we do have to. I'm sorry, this podcast was late. I'm sorry, it's a shorter one, but it's our fucking day off, and we've got a booking in 15 minutes.
Oh, sweet. Not doing dad jokes. We'll do some on Thursday. We'll do it because we'll give you a weekly dad jokes on the Patreon. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Tell a friend.